Well, hello friends, and welcome to Jim's In-Town Gardens here in Brownville, Maine. I'm excited today. I'm going to plant some peppers. This is actually a lot later than I really wanted to get them in the soil because we're, March 20th, I think, February 20th. And I really wish these had been planted about 2 or 3 weeks ago. The reason why is because I want to be able to top them. And I know when I do that, it's going to set them back. But what I'm going to plant is um, a hot habanero. This is supposed to be the hottest of them all, according to Burpee. The other is a hot habanero. It's a habanero blend. And then Billy Biker, Biker Billy hybrid, another hot pepper. Excited to grow that one for my bride. And then the jalapeno hot pepper. Those I've raised many years. They're supposed to be a medium and large jalapenos. I've had really good luck with it. And the other seed packet I got was a California Wonder pepper. Picked that up today just because I want to get these in the ground. It wouldn't have been my prime choice, but it's what I've got. Now, I'm going to be planning in, I'm going to do things a little bit different than I usually do. This is what I usually use to start my plants with. But also, from last year, I've got some really nice compost, and she is dry. It's been screened. I don't know if you can see that real well. It's been screened. I really wish I had gone through the 1/8 inch screen, but I haven't got that. I did do that. The other thing is worm castings. This is some that I did probably about a month ago. You can still see a little bit of stuff in there. Some leaf, eggshells, crunched up, because I grind my eggshells. But that should be some good start. Usually I don't do that until I get to when I transplant. When the plants get up there, I don't know, about 2 inches, 2.5 inches, that's when I will put them in a bigger pot, and I'll add compost and that kind of stuff. Because usually to get the plant started, the seed has everything it needs to get started. But I figured, you know what? I'm going to mix it. I've got it. I'm going to mix it. So that's what we're going to do. It's going to take quite a bunch of water to get this down. I don't know if you can see the dust coming up from this. This is dry. So I'm going to add the water. And what I usually do is, because we're on town water, I have water that's been sitting out for about 2 or 3 days. Gallon jugs. Keep the cover off, let the chlorine and all that stuff evaporate out. So that's what actually, before I do that, what I'm going to do, because I've got 12 quarts in there. I'm going to add a scoop, and you know what, there's probably scientific measurements you can come up, but this is, when I do this with my transplants, this is what I do. I'll give that about 1.5 scoops. Like I said, I've got it. I'm using it. I'm not going to measure it out completely. It's worked in the past for me, so what I'm going to do with the worm castings is, again, 1, and we'll give it 1/2. And I'll mix it all up. I'll add the water, and when I get ready to plant, I'll bring you guys back along. So, welcome back again, friends. So I've got the the mix all dampened. You can see I can't squeeze water out of it, but it is very damp, and it does crumble up. See, there's quite a bunch of bigger stuff in that seed mix. I know that didn't come out of the compost, um, but anyways, we're fine. So what I'm going to do to start out with is I'm going to take, this is an old tray, I've already washed it, bleached it, put vinegar in it, and blah, blah, blah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my mix, fill my tray up. I'm just going to fill it up to the top. Focus that down so you can see what I'm doing. Hopefully you can see everything there. I'm just going to fill the trays up. These are fairly deep cell tray, and I kind of purposely did that for the peppers because I want these guys to get up there about 2.5, 3 inches before I transplant them, and I might even go longer than that. Excuse the mess, I just got stuff all over me. It's a wider tray than I normally use. Doesn't fit in there quite as well. Alright, so once I do that, I'm just going to take a couple fingers, just make sure that soil's all the way down to the bottom of the cell. Each one. Don't poke it down hard. All you want to do is just make sure that it's down at the bottom, because what I'm going to need to do is once the plants emerge is I will water from the bottom. I won't water from the top. I'll mist them until the seeds come up. But when I go to water, once the plants do come up, I will fill the bottom of the tray that this will sit in. It took me a lot of years to figure that out. You know, it's easier to water from the top, but I have run into problems before with that. So just lightly fill it back up. I want to do this before my grandson's supposed to stop in today. I don't know if he's staying overnight or not, but kind of want to get this done so that he can have his room if he wants to play or whatever he does. Hopefully in some of the videos, especially once we get outside, hopefully he'll be up here where you all can see him, and he can be a big helper. He can be quite a talker, but he's a big helper. And yeah, I can say that because he hears that often when he's up here, because he does like to talk, even more than I do. Some of you that know me personally know that I do like to talk, especially if there's something that I'm really passionate about. Okay, I've got to go outside for just a second, and I'll be right back. Okay, we're ready to start planting our peppers. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do four of each on the habaneros, for the Billy Biker, and then I'm going to kind of split the difference between the jalapenos and the sweet peppers. So let me focus this down here so you can see. Okay, hopefully you can see that all right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pencil and just put a hole in the center. As you can see, the soil's not packed down real hard. Pretty loose. I'm just going to put a hole in the center of each one. Some of this I might have to add a little bit of mixture, but that's all right. My whole purpose of these videos is just to show you that anybody can do this. Anybody can do this. It's so easy. Yeah, you may end up having some seeds that don't come up, um, and that might not be your fault. It could be old seed. Um, I started 72 pepper plants 2 weeks ago, and I've got two that came up. I've got one habanero um, and one jalapeno, but I did use some old, um, the cells. I forgot what they call them. The peat pellets. Um, they were ones that I had grown stuff last year, and I didn't have good luck with them. But anyways, I said, you know what? I'm going to try it. Where I'm putting all these in my um, seed rack. They're going to have the heat. They're going to have plenty of light. I said, I'll try it. And you know what? They might still come up. A lot of times on the seed packets, they'll say 14 to 21 days. It's only been, tomorrow will make 14 days. So they still could come up. All right. So I've got that first bunch, the hot habaneros. That will be my first. And I know the order that I'm putting them in because it's in the exact same order as what I had done in those pea pots. And I've got stakes in there and marking them. So I'm doing it in the same order. So I'll have that to cross-reference when I transplant, because that's when it's very crucial that I know what's what, because I know in the garden where I want to plant each one of them. So now we're going to take the next habanero. This is a Spanish unique blend. Never tried these before. So this is going to be something new. And I don't do the hot peppers. My wife does. She makes salsas. She could eat hot peppers right out of the package. She loves hot. I'm going to place one in each one of these. And when all is said and done, I'm probably covering these with about 1/4 of an inch of soil. I didn't poke down real hard with the pencil. And by the time I firm this up, there's probably about 1/4 of an inch of soil over the top. So that will be good. Peppers do like a lot of moisture. They're heavy on the water. But when you're germinating, you don't want them saturated. What I'll do is when I'm all done planting, I'll spray them down real good, and then I'll put a dome on it, and I'll keep that dome until the majority of the peppers are up, and then I'll remove the dome, and that's when I'll start watering from the bottom. Okay, so these are the Billy Biker. This is something I got from Burpee. Actually, these are last year's seeds. 4 of those, and I'll read to you what those are. Leanna was really interested in this, so I said, "No, that one's got 2 seeds." Firm that down fairly decent. I said I don't want to mush it, so I go to the bottom of the table. But so the Billy Biker, very large jalapeno peppers, 3.5 inches long and up to 2 inches wide at the shoulder. Blazing hot peppers have just as much flavor as heat. Harvest just as much flavor as heat. Harvest in about 66 days after transplanting. Here they're saying plant about 8 weeks before planting outdoors. Sow seed about 1/4 of an inch deep into individual containers. 75 to 80 degrees is what they like to be started in. And I have found at the top of the seed rack. It's averaging just about 75 degrees. Sometimes I get up to 77. So I'm going to have to do some changing around on the top of that bin, of that seed rack, because I don't want my impatiens and my pansies getting all the heat. So I'll drop those down to the second and put the peppers up there. And I'll probably, once I plant the tomatoes, I'll put those up top also. Now the other thing that I'm going to put in this tray, you can see I've got space up above here. And I'll take you along for that ride. I'll do that in this video too. I'm going to plant some Mary Washington asparagus just to start those. I did that last year, and when plants got up, I don't know, about 2 feet, I put them into my asparagus bed, trying to fill in some of the empty spaces there. My wife and I both love. Now I got 2 seeds. That's all right. Actually, you know what? I'm going to fill this more with jalapeno, so I'm only going to have 8 cells of the sweet peppers. That's all right. Like I said, I'm really hoping that what I've got planted and the peat pellets will come up. I'll have a lot of pepper plants. So we'll either grow them, give some of the plants away. I've got a neighbor that loves hot stuff, but he won't start his own plants. And I do that quite often. Okay, so that was the jalapeno hot pepper. Those will have 4.5-inch thin-walled dark green fruits to ripen to a bright red. I've never done those to the red, but I know they're a big jalapeno. Leona really likes those. Okay, so we have this one. See there. Doing so much talking, I'm not paying attention. Well, that video that I did of me snowballing, that's really drawn some attention. If you haven't seen that, check it out. That was a week ago tomorrow when I had done that. It was the tail end of a huge storm that we had. I'm going to say we had somewhere around 25, 26 inches of snow, and the wind was unreal. Okay, so now we'll get to the sweet peppers. These are California Wonder. And the thing I want to check on these is to find out if they were a heirloom, because that was one of my things that I wanted to do this year, is plant mostly heirloom. All right, so what do I need about here? It's close. Drop a seed in each hole. I only got 2. Okay. Then we'll put those down. You know, it was interesting. The pansies and the impatiens, germination time for those is quite a while. And I had the majority of the plants up 4 days. That was exciting. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this up. You can see that tray is seeing better days, but it's all good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these containers and I'm going to start my Mary Washington asparagus. We'll get that started. So let me fill these pots up. Okay, welcome back. I've got 2, 4, 6. I've got 8 of those cells filled up with that mix. Natural organic seed starting mix happens to be from Jiffy. Like I said, I'm not all about any particular company. It's just what I happen to. I know I've used it before. I've had good luck with it. I know I could go with a Miracle Grow, but I choose not to. I'm not going to say I don't use any of Miracle Grow stuff, but I may do it for some of the flowers. But I also have compost from last year that would have a lot of leaf mulch, leaves that we put in there, garden stuff, some chicken manure, stuff out of the kitchen. So this Mary Washington asparagus, it is an heirloom. Succulent, dark, green shoots, slightly tinged purple, the tightly folded tips. We've had some of this. It's yum. Most of my asparagus is the Jersey Giants. I did plant some of this year, of this last year. Came up very well as far as sprouting. Grew well, and it was, I'm going to say, about 2 feet tall when I put it into the garden. Some point, I'm going to say it was, June, might have even been July. So outdoors in early spring, on year before setting roots, cover seed with 1/2 inch of soil. I'm going to start them in the house. I'll put them in. I won't harvest any of this next year or this summer, but for the following year is what I'm hoping for. So, okay, hopefully you can see that. So let's see, seeds. Here's the seeds. About the size of spinach seeds, I would say. I'm going to drop one of those in each container. And pack that down. I did go down a little bit deeper with the pencil on that. So I'm going to say it's going to be about 1/2 inch soil covering it. Good. There. Now, let me get my mister. And I'm just going to dampen everything up pretty decent. Soil was pretty damp, not overly damp. You don't want to squeeze water out, but you want it to just barely clump in your hands. But then you want it to be able to break apart too. It's a little bit different having the compost and having the worm compost in. It does feel a little bit different than if you were just using the seed mix. So what I'll do is I'm going to spray this all down good. And then I'm going to I'll put a dome over the top. And I'm going to have to do some changing around in the greenhouse because I do want this up top. 75 to 80 degrees is what a lot of the packages are saying for germination. I know a lot of people will put them on top of the refrigerators. I've never tried that, but it makes sense. Usually your refrigerators will have some heat at the top. Never really tried that. Usually I try to do something that's, I have a place that I usually try to set my plants, you know, it's planning room, if you would say, in the house. Dedicated just for doing this. Last year, planted everything down in the basement. It just wasn't warm enough. I had my grow lights, but just wasn't warm enough, I think is what the problem was. A lot of stuff came up decent, but it just wouldn't. Asparagus. Now this water was in the greenhouse, so it's a little bit warmer than room temperature. You know, it might be something you want to think about if you go to plant stuff. All right, so then I'm going to put a dome over it, and hopefully it's going to fit. It might be a little bit tight because these plants aren't quite made for this. Yeah, so I'll probably mist them again tomorrow. Then I'll give it a break, and when I've got plants that start to come up, then I'll remove the cover. The great thing about the asparagus is I can put those anywhere in the, once they come up, I can put them anywhere in the seed rack. So I hope this video helped you. Like I said, I didn't spend that much time on these at all. I spent more time just talking. So again, I hope you enjoyed this. Hope it was shown so that you know it's not hard. I might have spent, if I was doing this by myself, this might have taken me 5 minutes to plan all those. But I wanted you to be able to see what I was going to do. Very easy. When these plants come up, I'll do another little video just as an update. Actually, tomorrow I might give you an update on the whole seed rack, what's going on. So, have a great day, everyone.